Welcome back. It's the Bud Light Dallas homestand, and we are now joined by a very special guest, an esports legend, and a man who helped make events like today possible. Give it up. It's the Dallas Fuel team owner, Mr. Hastro. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great today, actually.
You tired yet? It's only been 15 hours.
I'm a little tired, but it was all worth it. It was an incredible event today here in Dallas, and I think you guys experienced a little bit of that as well. So.
We had an amazing time. You had a sold-out audience here for your first ever event in Dallas. But I got to talk to you about your roots here because you're a local kid. You grew up here in Texas, not far from Dallas, and you decided to bring your team back to Texas. What has the response been like from the fans so far, and what has this event been like for you here on day one?
Yeah, I mean, if you're from Texas, you know there's a special pride that you have in this state, and so it's the best state out there, and you know the Texans are always willing to rally behind a Texas sports team. So you saw that today. You saw the power of Texas sports, and we're bringing esports to the stage as well.
Now, we announced you time and time again as a team owner. Sounds great on paper. What does it actually mean to own a team, though? What are your day-to-day responsibilities other than just owning a team?
You know, I started in the industry, in the esports industry, as a player, and then kind of that progressed into me coaching a little bit, and then I went on to manage our brand, and then you know we formalized it and started a business around it. So I became an owner, and I've been a broadcaster with Chris for many years. So I've done a little bit of everything, and now it's really just trying to pioneer and grow the industry as much as we can, and build on what all the great fans are supporting. I mean, the fans are everything. The fact that we had nearly 5,000 people here today, sold out crowd today, sold out crowd tomorrow, we can't do this without the fans, and so everything we do is for them, and so every day I get up and I try to make our brand and team better for the experience for everybody here in Dallas.
I think you're doing a good job of that, for sure.
Absolutely.
Just to add on as well to that, would you be willing to give us a bit of inside information? You know, what are the pros and cons of the sort of hands-on approach that you take with your franchise?
Yeah, I mean, I always say the most, for me, I think we're really a family, you know, in the office and our players, and the hardest part about my job is having to let a player go. You know, that happens a lot in sports. You always have to make changes to be better, and that's the hardest part about my job. But the best part is hearing the crowd roar. It's honestly the best part of my job. I mean, these guys behind me right here, the feeling that they give us is it's phenomenal.
A lot of the owners from the Overwatch League came from a bunch of different places, but you're kind of esports born and bred, a pioneer in many different ways in that kind of sense. Do you feel like there's any advantage or a different approach that you have compared to perhaps some of the other team owners in the Overwatch League because of that esports experience?
Yeah, sure. There are definitely some advantages, but I'm having to learn a lot more about the traditional side of the business behind sports too. And so some of those other ownership groups and some of the other staff that are working in the Overwatch League have a long tradition and a long background in traditional sports. So I'm having to learn a lot of that stuff, and at the same time, it's a lot of fun for me to explain my experiences and the things that I've learned, you know, through working in esports for 12 years to them. So it's really a symbiotic relationship between the ownership groups that come from traditional sports, and even on our own staff, our COO and President Jeff Moore. He comes from 20 years in the NHL and from traditional sports, and him and I just fill each other's gaps. So it's amazing.
What would you say as well is your biggest challenge, I guess, for you and your team moving into the home and away games? It's a huge undertaking, you know, especially, I guess, I mean, you guys have done very well today, you know, it's the sold-out crowd. But what would you say were the biggest challenges leading up to it?
You know, it is just details, right? Like every single thing that went to the show, we had to make sure that we started planning months ahead because we wanted to make sure that every second of this show was planned and we knew what was going to happen. And it was really great because, you know, this is my first time producing a big, large event for a lot of fans in an arena. And the preparation that went into it was every second of the show we knew what was about to happen. So I didn't need to pull out a piece of paper or anything. I kind of just was able to say, hey, this is about to happen, this is about to happen, and everything kind of happened on time and as planned. Had a little hiccup here and there, but all in, it was just an amazing experience to see the fans be able to see the vision that we created as a team.
Nice, yeah.
All right, well, Hastro, you know, you've been a part of this esports scene since the beginning. I mean, we're in our early 30s, but you've been playing since you were 15-year-old. And I remember actually 10 years ago to this day, we were both in Dallas, Texas at an MLG Pro Circuit event. You went from pro player to owner. Now you're selling out arenas with your team that is bringing in all of these people. Did you ever think we'd get here in esports?
You know, people ask me that question all the time, and the answer is always the same. Absolutely. We wouldn't be here, I don't think, if we didn't believe in it. There are a lot of pioneers in the esports industry like myself that have stuck it out and pushed and developed, and yeah, you absolutely are one of those, Chris Puckett. People who really grinded it out when there wasn't really a lot of reward, and you had to just keep believing that you were going to make this thing bigger, badder, better, and here we are today with 5,000 people, but I want to take it to 20,000.
There we go.
That's where we're headed.
I like that. That's coming in the next few years. Thank you so much, Hastro, for joining us on the desk. I'm not letting you go yet, though. We like to have some fun. So today, we're going to have a party with you. Normally, we do a little bit of rapid-fire questions, but for you, I built something special. I got Dallas Fuel trivia coming your way. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Yeah, you better be. You better be. You ready? Okay. Question number 1. Which team did Dallas face on the first day of the Overwatch League? Is it A, San Francisco Shock, B, Seoul Dynasty, C, Los Angeles Valiant, or D, the NYXL?
That would be B, the Seoul Dynasty.
Ding, 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 ding. There it is.
They get prizes now?
All right.
Oh, yeah, we'll hook them up.
All right, I'm your champion right now, so you guys
Yeah, you got to cheer for him. When he gets it right, like, you should be very happy. All right, second question. Maybe not just Dallas related, but Overwatch related for sure. What were the first 3 maps revealed in Overwatch? Was it A, Anubis, Hanamura, and Kings Row? Or B, Anubis, Hollywood, and Kings Row? C, Dorado, Hollywood, and Volskaya? Or D, Dorado, Hanamura, and Volskaya? You probably forgot what I said at the beginning after all of that.
All right, this is a tough one. I'm going to go with A.
Yeah, that's correct.
Wow, 2 for 2 this man. I love it.
Okay, all right.
Bring it on.
Next one. Who is the oldest player on Dallas Fuel? Is it A, Taimu, B, AKM, C, Harry Hook, or D, Mickey?
Who's your oldest player, Mike? You got to know this.
Oh, man, this one's actually kind of hard. Let's go with Taimu.
Is it Taimu? No. Taimu's too young. That would be the Spaniard Harry Hook at the young age of 27.
Understandable, though. He's recently shaved.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment to Harry Hook. He's going to tell me he looks really
young. Good, Harry. What about you, Josh?
All right, fourth question. Who was the first Overwatch hero added to the game after the initial release? Was it A, Diva, B, Ana, C, Sombra, or D, Orisa?
It was the first hero added?
Yeah, the first one added after the game was released.
That's Ana.
It certainly was. Ding, 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 ding,
right,
ding,
3 out of 4. And the one I missed was about my own team, so
Crushing it. Crushing
embarrassing.
It. All right, which team did the Dallas Fuel defeat to get their first ever win in the Overwatch League here in 2019? Is it San Francisco Shock, B, Boston Uprising, C, London Spitfire, or D, Houston Outlaws?
Oh, man. Was that the London Spitfire?
It was A, the San Francisco Shock. Hastro, don't worry, we're not done yet. That's it for trivia.